Hello lovelies, this is Chrissy cooking at home. I would be Chrissy. Shocking, I know. Well, this video we're going to do beef and noodles. Simple? Kinda. We're gonna do some beef stew meat. I defrosted out of the freezer from a eye round that I cut up into chunks for stew. We're gonna cook that in the pressure cooker, but on the slow cook function all day. We're gonna make some homemade egg noodles. We're gonna let them dry, and then we're gonna add them in a few hours and let this just cook all day long on the slow cook function. So why don't we get the beef started, and then we'll get the noodles started, and then we'll have dinner in a few hours. It is 6:40 in the morning. I have already been cooking. That'll be a different video for you guys. We created together some mini apple streusel muffins. Check that video out. I haven't edited it yet, so hopefully I do get to upload that, and that video turned out just fine. So, ready to get started? Let's go. Now, my tripod's a little broke. I haven't gotten a new one yet because it like just broke. But this is my quick cooker. It's Pampered Chef brand Instapot. So in this, I'm gonna add 6 cups of water. You heard me right, water's going in first. We are not searing the meat. I don't want to sear the meat. I just want to cook the meat. Now I'll dump in the meat. Not worried about order. Really not. So next we're gonna just do some Worcestershire sauce, Worcestershire, what's its face sauce. Just gonna do 1 squirt, 2 squirts. Boy, I left this in disarray. I must have been having a bad day the last time I used my pressure cooker. Which is not surprising. I do use this usually pressure cooked meal when I'm having a bad flare with my neurological condition, or my back is out of whack and killing me because I overdid it, because I often overdo it. Why do I overdo it? Well, I do have little Miss Nellie, who's going to be a year old in 6 days. So, okay, water, beef, some bouillon cubes. Yep, I gotta get more. So we did 6 cups of water, so we need 6 bouillon cubes. Right? Right. What is on my island? Good gravy. Just all discombobulated this morning. I have been cleaning. I vacuumed. Did the dishes once. Made muffins. Need to do the dishes again. Their pan is, mini muffin pan is soaking. Kinda. I use that Dawn Power Wash spray stuff. I have it sprayed. Now it's just sitting, so all I have to do is wipe it down and then rinse it off. Love that stuff. Makes my life easier. And that's what I need right now. Easier. So, there's that. Now, I'm gonna do some kitchen bouquet. Now, for the sake of making a video, I'm going to try to measure for you guys. Now, I'm very much a dump and go kind of cook. So there's 1 tablespoon. How do we look? I want more than that. So there's 2 tablespoons. If I want more, I will add more later. You can always add more of this stuff later. spoon, put the lid on the kitchen bouquet. Now as I put something in, I put it to my right. What I need to put in is to my left. Sometimes I'll put it behind me. Okay, seasoning salt, my favorite. 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. Garlic powder. Love my garlic. 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. Onion powder. 1 heaping teaspoon. Now, I didn't get out my big black pepper container. I just grabbed my black pepper shaker. I'm just going to measure out of that. We're going to do about 1/2 teaspoon. Put that aside. This side for the egg noodles. So my bouillon wrappings in the garbage. We're just going to give this a stir. And that's all I'm doing for my beef. I just want this to be cooked so that the meat falls apart. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense? Smells good. Smells like I want it to smell. Okay. See if I can do this upside down and backwards. That's the saute function. That's the steam. Slow cook. I need it longer for 4 hours. So we're gonna hit the time button. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna do 9 hours because I will open this to put noodles in later. So then I'm gonna hit start. Since I'm not pressure cooking, I'm not worried about putting on the lid before I hit start. But we're gonna go ahead and put on the lid. Mine beeps a lot. I don't know if Instapot brand beeps that much, but mine beeps a lot. Lots of safety features on this one, which is why I bought it. No, everything's closed. My valve is closed. My pin is in place, but it works. Everything's cleaned. All the lid and everything. Make sure my rubber gasket's in place. Yep. Beep 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 beep. Okay, got handles down here. Moving that back there. All right. Excuse me. Now I got out early this morning. 3 eggs at room temp. Let me grab the flour. Okay, flour is out. Aprons come in handy for making egg noodles. Seriously. So that's 2 scoops. I don't know how many cups this is. I never measured. I was not taught to measure when I was taught to make this by my elders. So, we made these noodles. Salt. Made these noodles usually at Christmas time or big family get-togethers. They would take the broth off the cooking turkey or cooking chickens. I just make them now when I feel like having pepper. Much or as little as you want. Okay, make a well. This is it. I know this is a mess. If you have sensory issues, this might not be the meal for you. Unless you have kids who love getting messy. like seriously messy. Because this is a sticky, goopy mess in the beginning, but it gets better. Now this is not like pasta like spaghetti or lasagna or fettuccine. This is an egg noodle, so there's no oil in it. It's just egg. I forgot to get out my bench scraper. Excuse me while I make a mess in my kitchen. That's not bad. Now I'm going to try to incorporate as much flour into this 3 eggs. And I am like shaking you like the crap out of you. My goal is to get these noodles made, rolled out, cut before Sweetheart gets home from work. And I don't think that's gonna happen. Maybe I can at least get the dough made. And it won't hurt it to rest for a bit. Actually, it needs to rest for a bit. Let the gluten rest. My mom used to say when she'd get trying to get the egg off my fingers. When she'd get the noodles together, she'd get this ball together, she'd be working on the other dishes in the kitchen, or my grandma would be one of them. They'd say, "Don't touch the noodles," because I'd be ready to roll it out for them. They didn't want me to touch it. It's just good to let it rest. Let the gluten rest. I keep knocking into you. My island's knocking back and forth. It's on wheels. This is a portable island. It's not like adhered to the floor, which I love. I can move it up to my stove if I have stuff on it. Like I've prepared multiple things. I've done that before. I haven't done it in a long time, but now it is a shaggy, raggedy dough, right? Okay, I'm gonna let this rest. So what I'm gonna do so it doesn't dry out, I'm gonna get a damp towel. Okay? But we don't want it dry yet. We still have to roll it into a sheet and then cut it into our noodles. So there, save your flour that you put over here. You can use it for rolling. You can use it for dusting. Don't need to waste it. So I will bring you back. Okay, Miss Nellie is still eating her breakfast, but we need to get on to these noodles and get them going. So, you haven't seen her in quite some time. Tita! The house with cats. If you have cats, you know what I mean. So, she's eating the apple streusel muffins that I made this morning. They are a hit. She's on her second muffin. Okay. How beautiful is that? Is it beautiful? Beautiful. Okay. We're going to work with this in rounds. Oh, my neurologist wasn't kidding. I am weak. Okay, fourth of the dough at a time. You want to do, now when I say light dusting, I mean light dusting. If you want to do a bigger round, like do the whole thing at once, by all means, it's your dough. Now, I'm only going to do a quarter at a time. Now, this is a very heavy marble rolling pin from Pampered Chef. It's going to do the work for me. If you have one of those pasta rolling machines, that would be ideal. I don't have one. I had to choose between either a meat grinding attachment for my KitchenAid mixer or the pasta rolling. I should have gone pasta rolling, but I really wanted to play with meat grinding one, so I got the meat grinding. And it has been fun. I don't regret it. I just wish I had both. Eventually I'll have both. Okay. Coming along nicely. Now, I'm gonna let this rest. Grab another piece. Squish it. So now we have 4 sheets of egg noodle dough. The same thickness. Okay, so start with the first one you finished while the others are still resting the same amount of time. Now you can just go with a pizza cutter. You can roll up and go with a knife. It's just my family. They don't care if they're all the exact same shape and size. I used to roll up and make them all the exact same shape and size. So as long as I cut all the way through them, I think I need a new pizza cutter. What, Miss Nellies? Really? Do you need more muffin? You dropped your box. Did you need your milk? You need more milk? Okay. So I think my arms, and there went the ball, are a little tired because that was 20 minutes of rolling the egg noodle dough. This does take about an hour, 2 hours to dry. You want it to dry up a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. You just want it to dry up a little bit. You want the gluten to continue to rest. All different shapes and sizes. My family doesn't care. I'm not selling this at a restaurant. It's just my family. They just want to eat. This one's really all over the place. Really, Nelly. She's in the kitchen helping. The beef is smelling good. This is gonna make a lot of dinner. Okay, so here's our noodles, our leftover flour here. Toss it in. Now is when we want our noodles to dry up a bit. Right? Okay. Now, I have cats who will get on this island. I cannot just leave this out in the open. It's not going to work for me. I want a little more flour on these. because I need this to thicken all that broth. This will cook for several hours. These noodles, because they're gonna dry, are gonna soak up that broth. But we also need the flour to help thicken. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna spread this out, and then I'm gonna get a clean towel, and I'm gonna cover this. So as the cats kind of do their cat thing, this will be protected from any, cat hair, cat dander that comes off of them as they trample and do their cat thing. So I'll put a towel over this, and then I'm gonna take my big sheet pan and I'm gonna put that over the towel. So hopefully, as this sits for a few hours with the flour, it'll still dry. This will be an adventure. And I'm gonna tend to Nellie. She's probably bored and needs to play. So I will bring you back when it is time to put this in the broth. It is 8 o'clock now. I'm gonna set the timer for an hour and come back and check and see if it's the texture that I want it to be. Well, it's now 9:20 in the morning and the beef is smelling really amazing. So let's check on our noodles. The cats haven't even come anywhere near it. They're sleeping with Logan. See, I put my sheet pan over the towel. Nellie's on her first nap. You hear it? That's where I want it to be. They're nice and stiff. They barely move. They don't twist really. They could be drier, but it's fine. It's going in. Bench scraper. Okay. Ideally, you do this, you don't move this, but I'm moving it for you. Smells amazing. Now it's been a few hours for this. It's down to 6:24 on the countdown. So I'm gonna grab a couple of forks. The beef is coming apart. It's not completely tender yet, but it tastes amazing. We are going to just dump our noodles and flour right in. Now, I've actually pressure cooked these noodles before when I was in a hurry, and it turned out fine, but I prefer slow cook. So just give it a stir with the beef. I want the beef tender, so we're going to keep cooking it. We're going to give it a stir to kind of unstick the noodles. Okay. And then we're just going to let it cook. And I will bring you back when it's done and we're going to eat it. Okay, and we are all done. This is my homemade beef and noodles made with beef stew meat from an eye of round that I cut up. here. Been cooking on the slow function in my pressure cooker. See, the meat is nice and tender. Let's grab a hunk of noodles. And you can hear the babu. Okay, the noodles are fully cooked and drip, drip, drip. Cut right through. Babu, why are you barking at me? You can see they're nice and tender. Cut all the way through it. And a nice thick gravy from all that broth. Now, if you add too much flour like I did, you might have to add more water. I was checking on it periodically because I'm home all day, stirring it, and it just was getting too thick for my liking. So I added 2 cups of water, and it just cooked up beautifully. So, just depends on how much flour you throw in and how much your noodles soak it up. Get a little hunk of beef here. See how the beef did? The noodles are perfect. Not surprised. Flippin' hot. Do you see the steam coming off of it? It's hot. Moist and tender. Altogether, it cooked 8 hours. I let it, I stopped it an hour early just because we're ready to eat. So, I'm just finishing up some mashed potatoes to go with it. Serve it with mashed potatoes, eat it alone. It's all good. So, that's all for now. Till next time.